Today I'm going to show you why America's poor stay poor, and it's not what you think. In America, poverty isn't just a condition, it's a cycle, a trap so deep it passes from one generation to the next like a family heirloom no one wants. Economists call it generational poverty, but for millions, it's just called life. So, what makes this cycle so hard to escape? Let's break it down. Imagine starting a race, 100 meters behind everyone else. But no one tells you that's where you started. They just say run faster. For families born into poverty, that's not a metaphor. It's their reality. They're expected to build a life with no money, no network, and no roadmap. And when they fail, they're called lazy. But poverty isn't just a lack of money. It's a lack of options. A system of disadvantages that feed off each other, like a loop that keeps repeating. You don't get capital, so you can't invest. You don't get quality education, so you can't earn more. You don't know the right people, so you never get the shot. And before you even realize it, you've already spent your 20s surviving, while others spent theirs building. Not all poverty is the same. Some people fall into it because of a tragedy, a job loss, a medical emergency, a moment life broke them. That's called situational poverty. It's hard, but sometimes they get back on their feet. And then there's something deeper, a kind of poverty you're born into. Your parents were poor, their parents were poor, and now, without even realizing it, you carry the same struggles and the same beliefs. That's called generational poverty. And it doesn't just live in your wallet. It lives in your mind. Ruby K. Payne called it a culture, a belief system passed down like inheritance, where people stop dreaming big because no one around them ever did. This kind of poverty doesn't just trap your income, it traps your identity. In 1968, the U.S. minimum wage, adjusted for inflation, was $14 an hour. Today it's $7.25, and it hasn't changed since 2009. For millions of Americans, that's not just a number, that's their ceiling. Low wages don't just keep people poor, they pull down the whole pay scale above them. And in states that haven't raised it, getting out of poverty feels impossible. But here's what the data shows. In places where wages went up, jobs became more stable. People stayed longer, and families finally started to breathe. Even with small job losses in some areas, the gain in dignity, income, and stability was worth it. Based on U.S. Census data, why some poor people can't work, most people think poverty is about being lazy. But what if you physically can't work? Census data shows millions of poor Americans aren't jobless by choice. Some are too sick, some are raising families alone, some are studying, and many simply can't find a job, no matter how hard they try. It's not always a lack of effort. It's often a lack of options. So even when minimum wages rise, it means nothing to someone who can't earn them in the first place. So, after everything, the question is, can this cycle actually be broken? There's no single fix. It's not just about money, not just about mindset, not just about policy. It's about all of them working together. In Harlem, an entire community proved it's possible. The Harlem Children's Zone helped families from birth to college escape generational poverty. In New York, parents were paid to make better life decisions, and it worked. In his book, Children in Jeopardy, Irving Harris said, "Start early. Teach kids education matters. Give them the same shot rich kids get." Because in the end, cycles don't break with noise, they break with awareness, with opportunity, with action. And sometimes they break with just one person who decides. It ends with me. And if this message moved you, don't let it stop here. Share it, comment, pass it on, because someone out there is still stuck inside the cycle you just saw.